Yeah, and you should be happy as fuck.
What's up, my hippies? It's me, Emily, and today we're going to be talking about the first time I got high. Firstly, I want to disclaim that I don't condone this behavior in anyone younger than the age of 21. At least that is the legal age here in Colorado. You have to be 21 to legally buy marijuana. Just like alcohol, you have to use it responsibly, and you can actually get addicted to it, and you can let it run your entire life. So there's a couple fun facts about marijuana. I think that if anyone does choose to use marijuana, they should use it responsibly. They shouldn't just be sitting on their butts all day, smoking weed, and not really doing anything with their lives. But I do believe that you can use marijuana in like a healing way. So it's a way to kind of go into a different frame of mind and have different thoughts and different viewpoints on your life, and it can really open up your mind if you let it. But it can also do the opposite. It can also make you paranoid and make you self-conscious and really ruin your mental health from the inside out. It's actually pretty crazy how marijuana can affect your brain sometimes. It's really important to know if it's the right choice for you, if you are able to do it, or if you're not. If you feel uncomfortable when you get high, you probably should not get high. Everyone's different. Just know what you can tolerate and what you can't, and really understand the reason why you're smoking weed if that's what you choose to do with your life. I don't really get high as much anymore. On the occasion that I do, it's usually at a concert or it's at like some kind of event where I don't want to drink, but I want to feel really happy and excited and in my own zone. Like I said, everyone out there is different. Not everyone out there uses weed the same way, just like people don't use alcohol the same way. Some people are weekly, monthly drinkers, other people are daily drinkers, and that's kind of up to them and their personal journey with that substance. I do think that on a general level, marijuana is a lot safer than alcohol. I think a lot of people tend to abuse alcohol more so than marijuana, or they just tend to do stupider things while they're under the influence of alcohol as opposed to marijuana, but both can have negative side effects if you look at them as a whole, as a substance that alters your mind. Okay, enough about the disclaimer. This story goes way back when I was 18 years old. I'm not going to name anyone's name in this because I was very young. I don't know if the people that were involved would like me to share this information about them, so I'm just gonna call everyone my friends. So back when I was 18 years old, I was fresh out of high school. I had a lot of friends that had recently started smoking weed, or they smoked weed in high school. I was not one to smoke weed in high school. I thought that it was a terrible idea. Anyone who smoked weed or did drugs was bad, and I didn't want to be that person. But there was also this curiosity in my head of what it felt like to be high, and I always had it in my head, like, what if I tried this? What if I at least tried it one time and see if I liked it? In my mind, it was something that I never wanted to be a part of, but I also was very curious about it. So when I turned 18, I had a bunch of friends that started smoking weed. One of them was my best friend from high school and her boyfriend and my ex-boyfriend. They all started smoking weed around the same time, and I kind of ventured away from that. I kind of didn't really want to be around them. I didn't really want to hang out with them anymore, and it wasn't something that I wanted to be a part of my life. So I didn't really hang out with those guys anymore. I kind of distanced myself and stayed away from it. I started working at a fast food restaurant when I was 18. It was my very first job. I was very excited, and I was working with a couple of friends from high school and also some new people. And I became really close to everyone that worked there. It was a really fun environment, and it was something different than I was used to. You know, I was really used to high school where there was a bunch of cliques and no one talked to me, and I was kind of an outcast. Whereas at this place, it was kind of like we're all here for the same reason. We're all here to get paid. We're all here to work, and no one really gives a shit about if you were popular in high school, if you weren't popular in high school. They don't care about that. They just care about hanging out with you and really having a good time while we're working. So I did befriend a lot of people that worked there, and I found out that a lot of them either did smoke weed or had smoked weed. So weed just became like this thing. Like right when I turned 18, it was like weed was everywhere. You know, I wasn't used to that. I wasn't used to that in high school. I never hung out with people who smoked weed, and then all of a sudden I become an adult in my eyes, and weed was all around me. You know, it was everywhere. So it kind of just made its appearance in my life super fast. I always told myself I wasn't gonna do it, and I kind of tried to maintain that mindset while I was hanging out with my work friends, and it came to a point where I became more curious about it, and I decided that on my birthday, from my 18th to 19th birthday, I wanted to smoke weed. So the night before my 19th birthday, I decided I wanted to try it out. I wanted to smoke weed. So the process was so sketchy back then. You basically had to know someone that was selling it. There were no dispensaries back then, you know, we didn't have dispensaries like we do now. And the whole process just felt so weird. It felt so weird and so wrong, but it also felt like really cool. Like I finally felt like I was gonna be doing something really cool, you know? I was not a cool kid in high school, so this was like my chance to be like, yeah, like I'm gonna do something that everyone else is doing, and I'm gonna try it out and see if I like it. So we had this friend, and she was a lot older than us. She was probably about I would say about 5 to 10 years older. I'm not exactly sure how old she was, but she was an adult. Like I thought I was an adult. She was an actual adult. She probably was the age that I'm at right now, which is quite scary to think about. But she knew what she was doing, you know? She was a regular old stoner, smoked all the time. So we hit her up, we went to her house, me and a couple of work friends, and we had the plan, you know? Her plan was to get the weed, and we were all gonna sit around and smoke it. Like, I didn't know, it was my first time, I didn't know what to expect. So we all went over to her house. It was pretty cut and dry. There wasn't a lot of talking. We kind of just sat in a circle, and it kind of felt like that 70s show where everyone is like sitting in a circle. Like that's what it was. Like we all sat in a circle. It wasn't like we sat on couches or we were like standing up hanging out. Like we literally got into like a stoner circle, and that's how we smoked weed. So I remember them passing the pipe around, and I was excited, and I was also a little bit nervous. But when it came to my turn, you know, I didn't know what I was doing, so they had to walk me through the process of lighting the pipe and smoking it and all that. And then I passed it around again, and then it came back to me, and they wanted me to do an even bigger hit off of the pipe. And I was like, okay, I don't feel anything yet, you know, so maybe I can go a little bit bigger. So I did, and they were like all cheering for me. They knew it was my first time. They were popping my weed cherry, as they say. So they were all really, really, really excited, and I passed it around again. And I don't know if I took another hit off the pipe after that. I just remember like everyone talking, and I was like looking down at something, and everything kind of felt like a dream. Like all of a sudden I felt like I was in a different dimension, like a dream. I was like, it felt like I was, how do I explain it? I knew that I was in my body, but it felt like I was experiencing something outside my body while my body was like still sitting there, but my mind and stuff was like really far out here, you know? So I knew that I was then high, and I was like, holy fucking shit. Like this is what being high feels like. Like this is absolutely insane. Like my mind was not ready for that, okay? Like I just thought we were gonna have a couple laughs. It was gonna be like drinking alcohol. It was nothing like alcohol. Absolutely nothing like alcohol. It almost was like I was having an out-of-body experience for a second. I didn't know what was happening. I turned to my friend and I was like, look, like is this a dream? Like I feel like I'm dreaming. And she's just cracking up laughing, and it's just kind of like a me and her moment for a second, and everyone else is having their own conversations. It was almost like everything went into slow motion for a second around me, but I was moving at like a regular pace. I guess that's the only way that I can put it. So yeah, my friend and I was talking to her, and I was like, I think I'm high, like this is crazy. And then some crazy musical toy starts going off, and it like freaked me out for a second. I was like, holy fucking shit, like what is that noise? It was playing like all kinds of music and it was so loud, and everyone starts laughing, and then eventually like I start laughing, and it just becomes like the funniest thing in the entire world. Like that toy was the most frightening thing and the most hilarious thing I had ever seen in my life. It was my first time smoking weed, okay? Just bear with me. I was feeling all of the feels at that time. I think that we stopped smoking off the pipe. I don't know how many hits I took. I honestly don't. I could have taken 2, I could have taken 3. I would say that I probably took about 2 or 3. I don't think I took any more than that, and probably for the best. So my natural instinct is to document me being high. So I just start taking a bunch of selfies in her bathroom, and I start taking a bunch of pictures of everybody, and you can tell like in the pictures we are fucked up. We are so fucking high. That was probably higher than I needed to be on my first time, but it was like I was so deep into it that I didn't even like have any kind of fear about it. I was just enjoying myself. And it seemed like time was going by so slow. Like it probably was only about 5 minutes, maybe 5 to 10 minutes that we sat there and smoked, but that felt like probably about an hour to 2 hours of time. And we eventually got up. We wanted to go outside and get some fresh air, so we went outside, we sat on the stairs, and we all just kind of laughed, and we were like filming each other on my phone. So I have this video of us doing interviews on each other. We were asking each other how we felt at that time and how the experience was and how we enjoyed being high, if we liked it, if we didn't like it. They were more doing it for me because I was the virgin of the group, but they were also interviewing each other, and it was just the funniest thing ever. I just remember having such a good time. We were really safe with it. We just stayed at that house, and I slept over, and I knew that I wasn't, you know, gonna drive like this. I did it really responsibly, I felt like, in my mind, and it was also something that was really, really fun for me, and it was really, really fun for my friends. I think we all had a great time. When I woke up the next day though, I still felt really weird. You know, like it was almost like the effects of the weed hadn't worn off yet, and I still felt very out of my mind almost, you know, and it wasn't like uncomfortable. It was just very different, and I felt very like tired. So the next day was my birthday, and I had to go to my mom's house, and we were gonna go out to dinner and all that. So I literally had to act like normal the whole rest of my birthday. So yeah, when I went back to work, you know, everyone knew that I got stoned for the first time, and they were all like really excited, and it just became a thing. You know, like I told everyone that I smoked weed, and everyone wanted to smoke weed with me all of a sudden. And it was super interesting. Like it definitely was a point in my life that changed my life. I still, to this day, like I'm very cautious with weed and smoking it or doing edibles or any of that. I have friends that smoke every day, all day, and they're very successful, and they can live very, very good lives. I have friends that smoke weed all day and they're very lazy and all they do is play video games. And I have friends like with me on my level where we just do it occasionally and we do it responsibly, and it's not something that we let control our lives. So I'm not gonna sit here and say that I'm gonna be an advocate for smoking weed. Like I definitely think that you should do your research. I think that you should know exactly what you're doing, exactly what you're putting into your body, and if you don't feel comfortable doing it, then don't do it. I finally was at a point where I felt comfortable and I wanted to do it, but it took me a long time to get to that point. And some people don't ever get to that point. And if you go your whole life without smoking weed, it's not gonna kill you. You're gonna be fine. If you stay away from drugs and stay away from alcohol and stay away from stuff like that your whole life, you're gonna have authentic experiences, and you don't even need any of those drugs anyways. But for some people, it's just really fun to do, and I'm one of those people that I'll try anything once if I feel comfortable with it. And if I don't like it, I don't do it again. If I did like it, I'll probably give it another try. I definitely don't regret smoking weed. I don't regret when I smoked weed. I'm actually very happy with how it went. It's a memory that I will always hold on to, and it's just something that I'm really proud of myself for doing responsibly, because a lot of people do not do things responsibly. A lot of kids might go out there and smoke weed maybe before they're 18. They might go out there and drive while they're high, and those things are not responsible. So if you are underage, I was underage at the time, but if you are underage, or even if you're not underage, it's super important to do things responsibly. So whether it's psychedelics or alcohol or weed, please enjoy them responsibly. I see too many car crashes and too many drunk driving cases in my town to even count, and it's really sad when you let a substance get to you that badly that you feel like you have to endanger your life or someone else's. So that's the only thing that I'm gonna say on that topic, is that you need to make sure that you enjoy it responsibly. The last thing I want is for my video to influence somebody in a negative way. So I just wanted to kind of point that out, that you're gonna do you and I'm gonna do me. And I think it's really important that you know exactly what you want to do, and you make your decisions based off of yourself, and don't ever base your decisions off of anybody else. It doesn't matter if they're your favorite artist, an actor, an actress. It doesn't matter who they are. Don't ever base what you decide to do with your life off of what you see them doing. Always do things for yourself, okay? So anyways, I'm done giving like the lecture talk. I feel like a fucking mom right here. The moral of the story is that go out there, have fun, do the things that you want to do them responsibly, and know exactly what you want to do, and don't do anything if you're not comfortable. If you're not comfortable, don't be afraid to say no, okay? There were many times where I was that lame person that was like, no, I'm good, and it's okay to be that person. It's okay to say no. You don't have to go along with everyone else. Okay, I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video today, and I do appreciate you guys watching. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos every Friday, sometimes Saturdays. I hope you guys are having a fantastic weekend, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye!